oh, you need someone to absorb that land.
That's what I'm saying.
Me?
Exactly.
You have a school and you don't know what to do with it. I do.
So you never know. You never know how things can transpire, and we can get the funding. We won't even need funding at that point if we're able to, like we're creating right now, our own stream of income. If we had the building, then our money that we're bringing in could fund and then generate its own, and then
Well, ideally, what I believe to happen, what will happen is once the world knows what we're doing, the wealthy, the people who, the companies who have to donate so much money annually, like some companies have to give away so much money every year. That's why we got to get our paperwork in order so we can be recipients of that. But the donations are what's going to keep our doors open. Once people see what we're doing, like for real helping people, then the money is not going to be an issue.
Exactly, because money is just a tool.
It is, and there's people out there who just got it and nothing to do with it, and they would love, like they keep funneling their money into efforts that are ineffective. So once they see an effective method, now we have funding. So it's just continuing. Do I continue to Sister Circle? Like at the very least, you and I will be chilling in a room for 2 hours to think, uninterrupted by children.
That's funny. I look over here and at the end it says children who know 6 rise by the age, and you said by children.
Yeah.
But like, as I'm just like scanning the room, looking at anything else. Yeah.
I love it. That's how it works, and that's how you know what we're talking about is what we're talking about. That's how you know it's real. Because universe confirms it in your environment. So while you're talking, just like when I'm talking to you and I'm looking at your wall, and my eyes will fall on like that creepy ass wall. My eyes will fall on
Rainbows and sunshine.
Wonderland.
You know, sitting between it. I like those types of coincidences. It makes me feel like I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I forgot my microphones.
No worries.
Yeah, wasn't supposed to have them if I was. But yeah, so the vision is like a skyscraper, like a shopping. I want communities. I want to become a developer, buy up communities, restructure, but it is still low income housing. It is still like, I want a gym, like I want a chain of gyms.
So these kids don't have to go to the gym and be told, you need a membership.
Yes, I want community centers because these kids are just looking for someone to hang out with, and somewhere to hang out. That is cool. The community centers.
Cool and safe.
Yeah. Like, look at that. I understand, but this isn't a pretty library.
That, or I'm thinking like the Croc Center. What age do you cop out the Croc Center?
Yeah, but you want it to be pretty, and you need to have a membership. You can't just walk in there. My community centers will be free because I want you to have a structured environment. Because what I learned from myself and what I learned from the interview I did with, NA, was our children are unsupervised. Like, even though my dad was strict, even though I was strict, you were largely unsupervised. You were unsupervised. If you weren't with an adult, you were by yourself, which means you were either with me, you're with another adult watching you, or you were allowed to go out and play by yourself.
Yeah, even with adults watching me, they're not watching me to the extent my mother. So it's like.
And your mom's not really watching you. I just made sure your environment was safe. Like, I put all the bumpers up.
It was weird because I felt like you did watch me, but like I felt like we spent a lot of time together. As far as, okay, you're doing my hair, I'm in your presence, you see me, or you're driving me home from school, I'm in your presence, you see me, or we're in the house and you're cooking dinner and I'm in the other room. Like I'm seeing that time as you watching me instead of.
Let's go. Younger years, so.
She's trying to say that she was presently there, but she wasn't aware watching me.
What I'm saying is these kids getting up to mischief because ain't nobody paying them no attention. Like, how many kids can access the internet in their hand and we have no idea what they're looking at sitting right next to us? They're largely unsupervised, and that's 2024. Back in the day, we were just come back home when the street lights come on. We weren't in the presence of children. So now we have the younger years years, and then you have your teen years, and then you become an adult. I know, right? Believe it or not, that's
Guys, it's
progression.
coming.
Alright, so with your younger years, what is that age range do you think? Because we're thinking about being supervised.
7.
So
If
when
you count them.
0 to 7?
Yeah.
Alright, and then, so is it our 7 year or is it starts at 8? So are we 7 to 7 or 7 to 8? Am I thinking too much? So from 8 to,
13.
you think 13?
You feel like it's 12? So you feel like it's 12?
I think it's 12 because I'm looking at Angel. And like Angel signed into her Instagram on my phone. She still needs help.
Well, we can still engage her.
13 to 16. And then,
Oh, never mind. I guess I'm already an adult.
15. Because now we're looking at mentality, right?
Right.
When did you, and you can speak for yourself because I thought I was grown at 14. When did you think you were grown?
Grown as.
You can't tell me nothing, I'm grown.
Low-key, I haven't felt like that before. I feel like
Because you've been,
my household is indoctrinated to me to think that my age is nothing. What I know is nothing.
so do you think you haven't locked into the I'm grown mentality because you've been actually nurtured and raised? Like,
No.
maybe I did do my job and I just,
No. I'm just messing with you, but no.
okay.
That was funny. I mean, I feel like my
What about your peers? When did your peers start saying as my mom and dad?
age, well, not my age, but like 16. Like
16?
that. Well, I'm definitely basing my answer off of my experience, what other people have experienced as far as their parents have had the leeway in high school. You know, I was still with curfew. I still technically have curfew if someone were to come over, and like all these rules to life. It doesn't really feel like I'm my own adult. It just seems like I have choices. You know, I can either make the best choice in the decision I have, or I can make, you know, something that's gonna ruin the ability to do what I want to do.
So,
Like, imagine if I was like, oh, I want to have a sleepover with this boy at my house. I can't, because I'm not an adult.
people can do that? Like,
Yes, they can.
so yes, Ezra could come and sleep in the same room as you. Andre could come.
And Andre's been having girls like that over at his mom's house and here for as long as we can remember.
Yeah, I should have ate something. My stomach's over here doing the watutu. Babe, my stomach hasn't growled in years, and now this over here like, foxy lady. So now my question would be, because you're not in a rush to grow up, so there has to be some level of comfortability. Because if you knew, because listen, what's the difference?
I would rather have a place to lay my head. That is all.
So you comply.
Yeah, it's not because I truly believe in you and Dre's way of life. It's because I would like to lay my head somewhere and not. Like I said, why would I risk my safety to hang out with somebody who doesn't treat me like family or doesn't treat me like they care?
So it's just the best option.
Yeah.
Out of the options.
Yeah.
But still, it's the best option. So you can't take away of the totality of life. How much is I just need a place to sleep? I just need a bed. How much is, what I'm saying is, I gotta go, I gotta get the, I turned 18 on a Thursday, no, I graduated on Thursday, turned 18 on Saturday, and moved out on Saturday. Because my aunt told me I can't move out until I turn 18. So she didn't want me in her house. I didn't want to be in her house, but she still would not release me until I was 18. And I
This is gonna be
respected
an
her
interesting
enough.
family reunion.
So what?
So this is gonna be an interesting family reunion.
It will. We'll see.
Imagine you just shake the room and you're like, oh, sorry, squirrels.
Right? What if I just go?
Right?
And walk through the room and heal every broken relationship.
What do you think would pop out?
Yes, because optics.
That's crazy.
I think they always show up for optics.
That's gonna be crazy. Do you think we'll have to show up for optics, or we should just sit it out like casually?
I'm showing up out of respect for, well, one, I have no beef with anybody anymore.
I wanna go.
Oh,
I hope
we're
it
there.
happens. I hope it happens.
Oh, we're there.
Because, like, why not? That was so fun.
Oh, we're there, but you know, we're only going to do what spirit leads to do. What happened at that house was spirit led. I couldn't, and actually I thought, okay, how can I have resolving conversations with these people? Without it, like, oh yeah, can we talk? You know, I didn't want that energy because I know when you move in that energy, there's no resolution. There's no resolution. Everybody's just like,
This could have been a phone call.
Yes.
This could have been a phone
This could have been a phone call until I came in the room, and then he was like scared shitless and tried now.
He's like, this feels like some sort of spiritual entrapment. That's exactly what it is.
I was like, yes, I'm trying to get in your head. Exactly. I must know what you think in order to help your thinking.
This little while I was like, do you want to explain what you mean? Because I gave him the chance. I was like, you tell her.
Yeah.
No, you go ahead. All right, well.
Showtime. I'm like Beetlejuice. Showtime.
Right.
You shouldn't have said my name 3 times.
Right.
All right, so we got, I just need a bed, and then we just got, I'm out. That was me, I'm out. So the thing is, I needed a bed too, but I made a way out, right? So I found at the time.
Did you have roommates when you first moved out? Because that's also something I don't want to do.
So I found at the time, stay out of my head, people that I trusted, but I had built-in trusted people. I had my cousin and a woman that she worked with that she trusted. And so, and you know, at the time, I was so dove. So I was so assuming that my loud, vibrant personality, I'm not hurting anybody, is to be accepted by all, but maybe that wasn't Hasibe's cup of tea. And now I'm thinking back to all the people who had to be around me because my cousin, I was always a tag along, you know, so my cousin brought me along because she was invited and she was a much more low-key, chill, go with the flow personality. But we can go down that road too, but, and I was just, hey, I was a drink, I was a, and it wasn't alcohol induced, like it was, but it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And so how many people really had to tolerate being around me based off of me having to tolerate being around me? So like, this is really obnoxious.
It was funny, Dream was talking about, you know what I said?
Mm-hmm.
In the car last night. And I was like,
He's starting to see differences?
yeah. He was saying that his voice started changing when he was getting drunker and stuff. I was like, I did not see that, but I'm not around people like that enough to tolerate that behavior.
So his sensitivity is increasing?
Yeah.
Good job.
Right?
So, all right. So you're saying how much of the totality of life, I just need a bed, how much is I'm out, how much is, I really want you to break the habit of scratching your face with your middle finger. It's not a good habit, and you do it. I'm always looking at you and you're like,
I'm actually holding something.
I know, but
So,
you
like,
do it.
But if I bring it close to me, it's like,
Yeah, you'll poke yourself in the eye, but still just.
I know, I do it.
I know, and I'm just like, is she doing that on purpose? Because sometimes I'm like, she's doing that on purpose.
It's funny, I'm sorry.
I'm like, in my Rolodex, I was like, did I do something to make her flip me off right now? I think this is a habit. All right,
That makes sense, okay.
How much is I just need a bed, and how much is it I'm out? I'll do your circle and I'll do mine.
I think we should also add relationships in here, because I feel like because I have a relationship with my family, I also stay. And because I don't have a relationship with people outside of my family, I don't leave. Because I was thinking about what if I moved out with Andre, like as far as he gets a place and I pay like half rent while he's away and stuff. But I'm like, why would I do that financially right now, or like in the next 3 months? As far as it would be best if we all stay in the same house for now.
So finances.
But ultimately, finances don't even matter, because if I really wanted the money, I'd go get it.
So they do matter.
You think they do? You think they matter because I'm not going out for it?
When I'm out, finances are the number one thing. I'm not comfortable at all. So hook or motherfucking crook, I'm getting up out of here. So for me, now we're not 100% I'm out, because now we're breaking out. So how do I get out? Finances. Go find a man to live up under, or fund it myself. Those are the only two ways that we can escape our home.
Which is sucky, because like, and that's the thing, is like, on top of that, my morals that I've been born into, I would say, because not everything that you and Dre have provided for me to learn from, I've agreed with.
Mm-hmm.
So my inner morals are like, well, I can't go be a stripper. Well, I can't go get this money. I can't go be a sugar baby. I can't get this money. Like the nook and crook I can't do, because I've been told my entire life that not told my entire life that it's wrong, but like think about like how your grandpa would feel, like all these things. It's just like all these biases and thoughts and aftermath, and it's just like, dang.
So influence determines what you're willing to do. Determines what
What will I do?
willing to do for money.
That works. I feel like that works, but honestly, I shouldn't be worried about what people's influence is on my bread. But at the same time, I don't want bread that's gonna give me demons, you know? Like, I don't want to get money from places that's gonna get me chased after in multiple ways, mentally, physically.
Can you imagine what kind of energy is living up in a strip club?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be there.
You would carry that home every night until you gotta learn how to clear yourself. We gotta clear ourselves anyway, because the same energy is walking around here. But demons are more pronounced in particular environments. So once you start drinking that alcohol, that's why his voice started changing, because his demons are becoming more pronounced.
It'd be fun to be a stripper, right? To get some upper body strength.
And so this guy is becoming more of his inner demons. They're coming out, because they're like, oh, I got demons. Yeah, you do. Stop playing with it and exercise them bitches. You know what I'm saying? So the more that someone comes into a particular space, that's why someone who is an excellent principal just popped in my head is also a skeevy hound dog who violates women, gambling addiction, violence. Now we gotta go down the road to figure out why these behaviors exist, but this isn't that conversation. But we're saying how people can be two different people, because one is their true self as well, right? I am this person, but I also live with demons. And we were led to a space of allowing demons to inhabit our body, because I remember when I was going to church, we were taught to hate the flesh. We were taught to separate from the flesh. We are not, this body is filthy. This body is not even worthy to be here.
That's what I've heard spiritualists try to say sometimes.
Yeah, but if you exit your body, that leaves your body open for anything to enter it, right? And so now we have to look at what time period in our life did the message to manifest self-hate enter? because
No, but that's an interesting question.
I think it's here.
That's what I was thinking. Do you think for everybody or you think just for you?
Alright, so in order for them to have control, everything is systematic. So just as God is systematic, Satan is systematic. Negative energy, the people, the matrix is systematic, right? So in that respect, a system isn't a unit, it's multiple pieces working together. So if it is systematic, that means, and God is bringing into my field of awareness a conversation where the young lady said, what did she say? Give it to me. I'm talking to people, I'm sitting on lives, and I'm realizing a lot of us had the same childhood. So yes, not just me.
Is there anything in your water?
No, just water.
Really?
I know, right? For the first time, the boys drank all my Mio.
Thank you. Dang, that's rude.
So we also know the statistic that 0 to, and I've heard different ages, but the most recent I heard was 5. I've also heard 6, and I've also heard 8. So studies say from 0 to 5, 6, or 8, and we can look at Michael, and Michael's 7, and he's still receptive. So we can track Michael.
And he hasn't had any sort of traumatic event.
To lock him into a particular age.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, 7. Because as far as like.
So
me,
those are glitches in the system.
Definitely, we're like.
Someone who has a particular trauma locks them in. That either forces them to grow up faster than everybody else.
Or stunts themselves.
Stunts them. Because for me, my traumatic what was my traumatic experience? My earliest memory is 5 years old. But it wasn't traumatic. Those are actually,
Mine's literally 7, so.
God just told me those are my only happy memories with my mom.
Don't worry, Sister Circle, let it out.
Shut up, jerk. But no, those are my only happy memories with my mom, because every other memory of my mother, if I can take the responsibility of being responsible for my mother off of the table, my mom was an amazing soul. She was in your face, but she was just too much. And I was the black sheep, right? So I was self-hate because I am like that, but I could look at my mother and be like, oh, she's doing too much. So now I'm looking at them like they're doing too much. There's appropriateness. I'm sorry, I can't get over appropriateness. There's respect, right? So even if we go away from, well, this is what you're supposed to do, it's a level of respect. If you see me having a conversation on this side, respect on there?
No, I'm saying as far as influences of making money, like the respect of it all. Why would I disrespect this person to, like I said, how I made the grandpa analogy, what would your grandpa think about this?
All right, so the influence and disrespect. Yeah, but, so my earliest memories are 0 to 5, and my trauma kicked in when my dad took me, my first traumatic experience. I don't remember getting a spanking with my mother, because there was no order. Like, I didn't have to go to kindergarten. I failed the first grade because I did not go to kindergarten.
I really thought about that. Like, as far as, that's the reason why you're messing up, but that's the reason why you're, stunted.
Me or a person?
You and someone else coming into your life trying to punish you for things.
My first punisher was my dad. My mom never punished me. But, and that is error, there's error there too. Like, we have to figure out how to be in the middle. And so, yeah, my first trauma point was my dad. But I don't remember getting hit in Germany. No, Germany are good memories. I don't have any bad memories. Like, I remember showing up and my dad laid down structure. I didn't know what it was. This motherfucker is mean because he's like, can't do this, you gotta ask to do this, you gotta do this, do this, do this, do that. Like sitting on the couch, like when we went to Colorado.
Yeah, and they were talking to us before we.
Yeah, we're all sitting there like, that was when we showed up at my dad's house. Me and were sitting there like.
That's what I also learned from this trip, how people, the influence of others. Like I had asked Andre the day before, like before we had left to the B&B. I keep pinching a nerve or something on the side here, and it makes my hand tingle. But I had asked him to get me a pack of wraps before we went to the B&B.
I remember.
And he got me some wraps, but he got me the wraps that his old roommate in New York smokes. So he got those because he saw someone that he used to live with uses those.
Instead of what he knows you use, because he knows he always gets your wraps.
Not him, Little Dre.
Yes, Lil Dre gets your wraps too. I've seen him go in the store for you before.
Yeah, well, I guess I didn't specify that time, but yeah, but.
What's the relevance of what's the connection we're making?
Basically, the influence of others in your vicinity and how, basically, you said your dad did something. Oh yeah, no. Okay, boom. You said your dad sat you down in Germany and had that big talk, and you said you compared it to me all got to the cabin. And I'm saying that since she's experienced it as a child, she enforced like, well, this is what we did as a kid, and this is what we did to get points across.
It's a family meeting. That's all that is a family meeting. Now there's a difference between this type of family meeting and this type of family meeting. But that's all that is. Hey, you're coming into this environment. I know this is all new. This is how this household functions. How can we work together? Not, this is how this household functions. I'm sorry, whatever piece of shit you came from. Or you go from structure to no structure, because that's what happened. I went from no structure to no structure, no structured structure. So my mother was no structure. My parents were together, I think till I was 2, I'm not sure. But I don't remember any of that. And my earliest memory is, it's almost like my life opens up, like starts at 5. My first 5 years, I have no idea what happened. You could tell me and I wouldn't know. That's why video is important. But I remember, and it starts in this house on Kearney Street. That's crazy. I've never looked at my life like this. But my life starts in a house. Like, it doesn't start like, where does your life start?
Kind of.
In a house?
Yeah, playing in the backyard or something.
That's your first memory. Isn't that crazy? Have you actually thought about your first memory? Neither have I until now.
I have a lot of, I would say, I don't know, yeah, playing in the backyard in the house. I just, the way my brain works, I'm able to visualize the layout of what I've experienced. Like, I remember running behind the bushes, going around, or going over to the rocks by like where the water would go, and just, or like the yellow flowers in the corner. Like, I remember all of these things. So as far as how heavily I'm able to recall, that's kind of like how engaging it is.
So I can't pinpoint my first memory, but I pinpoint my first location. I remember that house. I remember going over Big Mama's house. I remember hearing about Mr. Man in the basement. Now, I remember standing in my great-grandmother's kitchen, and like, it's like straight shoot down into the basement, and it's just, yeah, houses in Colorado have basements.
Oh, it's in Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, not
yeah.
His mother. So my great-grandmother. And so I'm standing in her room. So much wisdom we allow. I think I may apologize, because so much wisdom we allow just to die.
Dre says game is to be shown, not told.
Yeah, and that's the lie that we believe, and that's why our wisdom dies. I anticipated, so this is just confirmation, I anticipated there's a lot of people who won't talk to me because we don't talk. And that's why so many of us suffer.
That's interesting. They have people like who still kind of engage a little bit.
He's a wisdom share.
That's what I'm saying.
I could take him with us, but he would have to be brought on at a corporate level, because to bring him on at this level will make Dre extremely uncomfortable. And so I couldn't, like, Dre acts like he's cool with me affiliating with other men.
He didn't even know how to handle his daughters with men. He didn't even know how to handle his daughters with women.
But he handles his daughters with women better, because his daughter's not with a man.
Think about that.
Well, think about that. Think about that.
That's so funny.
That's Ezra's name's on the wall.
Is it? Is it?
Second down. On the right side, second down.
Upside down. That is weird. Confirmation.
Yeah.
Because you saw that right then.
Yeah. Well, I saw it earlier, but I just saw it then. Like, I wasn't like, ooh, I just talked about Ezra, look at the wall. It was like, maybe I saw it earlier so that when it was time to have confirmation, there it goes.
Yeah, no, that is a whole bunch of different names, so that was definitely confirmation.
Yeah. Why is that name in this room? And did the name spark the conversation, or did the conversation spark the name?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that is a good question. Why does he do that? That's what I have the issue of. Like, when I was talking to Lightning McQueen, I was like, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. And then he also asked me, like, when you listen to me speak, you change what you're saying, what you're about to say. He's like, why do you do that? And I'm like,
Because I'm listening?
That, and literally, you cannot handle what I'm about to say. Like, I cannot say what I'm about to say after hearing what you've said.
Why is that so weird that people
I feel like
alter? Because Dre says the same thing. You're always moving the goalpost. Yes, because you said something which let me know what I said you missed. The point I'm trying to make. I said 10 words. Of the 10 words.
I really feel like it's it's manipulation. I feel like they're trying to throw you off for a track as far as us.
They feel we're manipulating them.
Yeah.
But in reality, they're manipulating us.
Exactly. That's how I feel it is, as far as them questioning, why are you being logical? That doesn't seem right.
Why do you want to know what I think?
Yeah, and it's like,
I've already told you this, but I'm actually asking you, so you would rather argue with me? You want me to talk to you. You want me to engage with you. You want me to show interest in you. And the moment I do, you're like, I already told you that.
and then it makes people feel good when you still mess with them in confusion. Sometimes it can get annoying as well.
Yeah. All right, so
Back to,
early childhood years.
right, and we'll get back to the whole dad's.
You go to dad's, because I don't want to leave that one untied.
Oh yeah, I did say they might not feel the people that are coming in are worthy as far as
That would be my issue.
vetting, and they don't meet these people.
Oh man, see, I know the power I hold between my legs. I know what power they hold between their legs. Everybody's not worthy to carry that seed.
I just wish I had more information about this stuff before. Like, I didn't. I was getting sexual education from school.
Me too.
Not,
The streets.
not just the streets, but like,
Let's talk about me. The streets taught me. I walked around with a bacterial infection for at least a year before I finally, I literally smelled like dumpsters. And I would move and hope the area cleared up soon enough so people didn't, nobody ever said anything to me. Nobody said, people have noses. But I walked around with a bacterial when I was 14, because I became sexually active at 14.
that sucks.
And I finally went to the free clinic. They gave me 7 pills that I didn't even take all of them because they were disgusting, because free clinic, uncoated pills. So it was just like straight chewing up a pill in your mouth. Disgusting. So, and I crushed them up and put them in my Coke and drank as much as I can. And just because no one taught me about taking prescriptions, I'm teaching myself about taking prescriptions. So of course I don't finish my prescriptions. Why? Because the first prescription I took, I crushed up in a Coke. And the first person to take me to a hospital was myself at 14. It's probably why at 14 I was like, figure it out. I had to. And that's why I stopped. You would have to walk to your doctor's office. You would have to make your next appointments. Because one of the scariest things I did as an adult was walk into a doctor's office, like trying to find, like, navigate this building. I was like, oh, it gave me anxiety. I was like, I'm not gonna let my kid have that anxiety. So you're gonna start doing things independently. So I didn't let you be free to yourself independently until later, but I gave you you need to start living your life freedom at 14. And that's probably because that's when I got mine.
Yeah, it just kind of interfered with like the things I was doing at the time as well.
I was smoking weed too. I was drinking too.
The life, how it really, I got my schools changed, didn't have any friends.
Wow.
It's not like it's a lot to deal with, but it's like.
But it led you to Lightning McQueen.
Huh?
You're welcome. I said it led you to Lightning McQueen. You're welcome. How many years of companionship did you get from that relationship? We can't discount yesterday for today. You're the person you are today because of all of them.
Yeah.
All 3 of them. All 4 of them.
All of them. It was a whole group of us, and I did one wrong pretty bad. And Lightning McQueen was the only one that still talked to me afterwards.
Oh, so I'm going back to the get you memories, and you're going back to the crew memories. I'm sorry.
What is the get you memory? Like last 6 months or what?
Well, no, your history that you've shared with me that has been detrimental to your friendships.
Oh yeah.
And you're thinking about the crew.
No, I'm thinking about the history of who he seen me as a person. Like I said, he was the only person that's still associated with me outside of that group after I treated that boy wrong. So
he had to have, so either he has terrible morals or he saw something in you, because what you did was terrible, justified or not, it was terrible, and he still stuck by you.
Yeah, it wasn't like immediate though. It wasn't like...
Because he's caught between the world and intuition.
Which is why, like, half the time stuff I know, and I just need to get a hobby. I'm tired of sitting in the house doing nothing.
Please do. Like, channels need to open up. I don't know if I'm using the correct language, but I'm so excited that channels are opening up.
Yeah, me too.
For financial resources and opportunities. Because you are enrolled in your hobbies and doing the things that feed your soul, because it's not like if you had access to our billions right now, you would be doing the exact same thing you're doing right now. Just floating through life, doing what you want to. I feel like doing. The only thing is you have to do what you don't want to do to get access to that, and that pisses you off. So you are not frustrated with the fact that you're doing nothing, because all you want to do is nothing. I just want to do what the fuck I want to do. Period. That makes me happy.
Well, I wish I had more of like a diagram of what to do. It's just
a diagram, you say? I'm just like, we could map you out, but
I mean, like, actually, like, diagram as far as, okay, if I go to this IHOP job and work for 8 months, then in 8 months, something magical will happen, and then it's like, no, you just have to live until it changes.
It happens.
And it's like, there's no certainty.
I almost didn't come here because I didn't know if anyone was going to show up, and no one did. Which I'm fine with. I'm so thankful. Every single time I'm like, and the moment becomes so beautiful that it's like, I'm so thankful. Like, I could have missed this. And this is amazing on so many levels. And so thank you, gratitude for being my show pony.
You're welcome.
Being my little trusty companion, because now we've given people something to think about, right? Whether we wrap this up or not, we gave people a starting point to start unraveling this in their life. Like, what is my earliest memory? Like, isn't that wild that I was on this earth knowing all the life that's been lived? Like, Michael was 3 months on a freaking mountain, strapped to his daddy, going to a waterfall. No, he was 3 months going to Florida.
Yeah, so I was thinking.
9 months. Yeah, going down a mountain. His first
In
year.
the woods. You gotta understand that these things are energy portals as far as you being more intentional with your life and being that's what I wrote down on the napkin. People have these children and just like, oh, I'm having kids.
Yeah.
No, that's why it's good to be intentional with where you're putting your children in. Like you walking through the woods and stuff, and you being in tune with nature, and you inducing labor healthily instead of eating chips and Coke.
Oh.
You're not.
Oh, I was inducing labor. I didn't think about that. Because that's walking. Now, would we walk 2 miles?
Yeah, you're like, y'all relax, get me out of here. I'm pregnant.
And y'all always let me choose. Why do y'all let me choose what direction to go?
Because if we're gonna listen to your direction out the mountain, why wouldn't we do it?
That is the one area, and we learned that on our first family hike.
And that was the first week we came down here too. It was the weekend we came down.
Yeah, our first family hike, riding dirty in the BMW.
Yes.
We went to South Mountain.
Ridden dirty. That's so funny.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to break free from that real soon.
We're about to get our hands on some sprinters. I just think, what are those vans called? Yeah, we're about to get us some sprinters and just be out here. Let's go.
Our own private, it's like a practice.
Yes, I'm ready.
We'll have 2 planes. We'll have a small one I can practice on, and then our own private. I feel like I could fly a 6-seater. Okay.
44 minutes.
Do you want to stay? You want to go?
I'm chilling.
Okay, good.
This right here, the audience doesn't matter. It's the fact that I just unraveled.
They don't know it's me.
They know it's you until they see your power as well. So it's not even about who's in the room. It's can you deliver a message? There are plenty of people who just stand there and talk to the camera and they're delivering a message, myself included. But no one's seen me in this capacity before. And so you provided that opportunity in front of a freaking whiteboard. Me and a whiteboard. Yo, we could solve the world problems with a whiteboard. Man, so, no, this is beautiful. And I do want to continue our conversation. We have the room for
an hour and a half, I think.
Another hour and a half, so let's go. Because you think I just be doing this for fun? I'm really solving myself. Whatever we're unlocking right now is about to take us dimensions ahead. Every time we unlock something, it just this is what I see. Every time we unlock I can't move as fast as I see. I see my ass stumbling, but it's zoom. Every time we solve something, it's zoom. Yeah. That's most people are going through like this. Yeah, right? But they're going through life like this, or like this, or like this, or
yeah.
Like this.
Well, this is really why I just need to get up. I don't need this. It makes me itch.
Right.
But I really just want to find people in real life to connect to. I like physical touch as far as I can hold your hand and know that you're there. Talking, like I told you, I was talking to that person. It got worse.
Oh, online?
Yeah, it got worse.
He's trying you?
I'll explain it to you after we do this pair.
Okay.
But it got worse in a sense that either he's trying to manipulate my brain into thinking that I was putting forth energy that I wasn't.
I told you.
That's what the spiritual freaks do.
Is that no? But didn't I pull you to a side last night and I told you somebody, and when we were talking, I was like, you remember Nature Boy, so I told you somebody's going to come into your field of awareness, which means you're leveling up. So
you did say that
to a degree, yes. So to a degree, allow, because you must go into the devil's lair.
That's what I was
Unfortunately, you have to go into the devil's lair to release from everything. But look,
you're gonna know I went into the devil's lair after I show you or tell you what I've experienced.
You've never had indoctrination. Exactly. So that's the one thing that I listened to intuition. I said, I'm not going to teach my children about God. They're going to have to find God for themselves, because when you teach your children about God, they never get to know God for themselves, which means they believe in your God. And if your God isn't their God, which it isn't, they never develop relationship. And that's why when your kid turns into an adult, whenever that hits, right? because a certain trauma point, your kid may turn into an adult at 8. Your kid could turn into an adult at 13. I turn into an adult at 14. You know, so at any age, your child disconnects from their child brain to that brain that you're able to control. This 0 to 5, 6 or 8 years, that part of the brain that you can control effortlessly, at that point,
It calcifies.
before that disconnect, you're being a tyrant to be a tyrant. Your kid is just trying, your kid doesn't know how to talk. I just told Adoy when we were walking in here, when I first had her, I wanted to lock her in the closet because she wouldn't stop crying, but I knew that was wrong, so I didn't do it. But I was just sitting at her, looking at her. I was like, I've changed you, I fed you, I'm holding you. Sometimes I would just be looking down at her because I don't want to hold you because I'll throw you, you know. So it's like, what else do you want? So I was like, I'm gonna put her in my closet and just let her cry. Some of you do that, and it's okay. It's not okay that you did it, but it's okay that you did it. Like, we all of us, when we are alone with our first baby, my God, the f do I do?
I wouldn't understand.
I wouldn't.
I mean,
Kristen was there when I birthed you, so Kristen saw you born, so that's the portal. That's an attachment that you guys have.
that's probably why she's like, she looks fine. Aww.
I'm not sure, but that's something for you to
No,
explore.
I'm saying, because you're saying when she gets right in the swimsuit,
Oh,
I don't know, because from their perspective, they know me more than I know them.
mm-hmm.
As far as,
But I also know your goals.
yeah,
So it's not so much me projecting body image on you because you put your boundaries in place early on when you told me, Mom, that's body shaming. And I was like, okay, well, I don't say nothing else about your body. Good luck, kid.
you're funny.
You know, I know what the balloon effect is.
Well, I feel like I low-key always been chunky. Not chunky, but I've always had like a little roll on my back.
No, it happened quarantine.
Think so?
Yeah, your body changed in. To me, see, your...
Well, my boobs got tremendously bigger.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, it was between not moving and eating,
Mm-hmm.
but also puberty.
Yeah.
I feel like, because puberty,
Mm-hmm.
it like,
Hit. How old were you at quarantine?
14.
Yeah, so now we're looking at a whole body change. So you jump bodies here.
You know, puberty.
Okay, but so younger years, we jump a bunch of bodies here.
Mm-hmm.
Because Michael looks different now.
Mm-hmm. Kaden looks different now.
Kaden looks different now. So there's a lot of body
Angel looks
jumping.
different now.
Huh?
Angel looks different, but Angel stopped looking different after like 8 or 9. She's looked the same for some years now.
So I identified this long ago. Stop jumping bodies at 23. I know that's true because me and like true where to me. I know that's true because me and my cousin used to always joke. We were like, man, when these little boys turn 23, something happens to their body. Like they just go and they go into their man body. And now from 23 until they hit the grave, we're determining how well you take care of that body. Because there's 70-year-old men who still look just as good as they did when they were 23.
Right.
So.
And it's all like, think about Method Man.
Mm-hmm. If he was able to get proper sleep, I don't know his diet, because some people at that level still can be disciplined with their physical exercise and their diets, but if he could get some sleep, how good would that man look?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying.
That's why treating our body is the best thing to do.
That's crazy that you and I like the same guy.
Well, I'm not saying we like the same guy.
He's fine, ain't he?
I was gonna say, as far as someone who's old and who's still taking care of their body shape.
He fine to me. I'm just like, you need
I don't
to
really
go
have
get some
any-
sleep, baby.
I don't really.
I know you married.
That's funny. Isn't he married to Coco or something?
I don't know who his wife
It's
is.
a white woman, I believe.
He's married to a white woman? No, you're thinking
Yeah,
Ice-T.
Ice-T is with Coco.
Yeah, Method Man, you're all that I need. I'll be
Yeah,
there for
don't
you.
worry.
You're married to a sex symbol, sis.
I
I'm
meant
sorry.
I meant Method Man, but I thought about
You sure as hell didn't balding ass Ice-T.
Ice-T.
Yeah.
Say on TV.
Whatever master's blood is in his veins is starting to show up.
That's like Samuel L. Jackson.
What about him? He looks better as he ages too.
Think so?
Yeah. He's gotten attractive. He wasn't attractive in his younger years to me.
That's what I'm thinking. Like he's just looked old. Like
Always looked old, yeah.
I was gonna say Morgan Freeman, but Morgan Freeman he looks old. Like he's old,
always
but
looked
he looks
old.
old now.
Yeah. Well, if you always look old,
Dang,
either
Morgan
you take
Freeman.
forever to age, or you're already aged, so you never age. Like Morgan Freeman always looked 60, so he had to wait till he was 60 to actually look 60, and now he's 80. I don't know how old he is, but now he's 80 and he looks 60. You know, it's like he doesn't age because he's been ill with his whole life.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine Morgan Freeman as a baby?
That's kind of cool though.
I wonder when his old face came in. He couldn't have been an old face baby.
I wonder what his moles look like though, because how often do you see babies with moles and face or freckles and stuff? Like I never see people like that.
Did his face grow into his freckles?
Exactly. Imagine that.
Or was he just one big freckle as a kid?
Because that's what happens. Like it grows on you.
Hmm.
Like that video I took of Caden. He has a mole on his lip.
Does he?
Yeah.
It's crazy. You noticed something about my kid I don't.
You'll see it.
Now that you point it out to me.
You'll start seeing things as well.
So we stopped jumping bodies at 23, and then whether we take care of that body or not determines what body we die in. So it is imperative that we take care of our body, and we'll forever be 23. So what age am I aging backwards? And I don't know if this is universal for men and women. I've never clocked when women, like, I was stacked to the gods at 14, so I came into this body at 14. So we mature faster, so we do, that's what they say, women mature faster. So now we're saying, where's the age at, which is 14. So I love this big ass whiteboard. Oh, that's kind of rude. That's what everybody's saying.
Another line.
So women, body, because their mental maturity could be at a trauma point if they're allowed to matriculate, into their adulthood and overcome trauma, because we can choose not to be limited at trauma, because now we know whatever that spot is that caught us up, we can resolve it.
Exactly.
So we can acknowledge, yes, my mind keeps going back to this place because it's a trauma point. I can choose to be in depression, I can choose to be in victimization, I can choose experience all of that. You got every right to. But what I read in the Bible the other day was Ezra. It's the book of Ezra. Ezra got some bad news. I don't remember what it was. I only remember half of it. Ezra got some bad news, and he was like, I think Ezra's a he. I'm not sure. Ezra done messed me up with the name. But he said, I'm going to sit in this is paraphrase, I'm going to sit in this until sundown. And then after that, I'm done. So I parallel that to, we're going to talk about Lightning McQueen until midnight. And then we're not going to talk about this no more. And that doesn't mean we don't talk about it again. We don't talk about it under that energy. The energy of confusion and because God's not in confusion. So we're going to allow ourselves to be anxious, down.
Oh, I love how you said, because God
isn't in confusion.
Yeah,
you say that all the time.
Yeah, but like when you say it and if you mean it, it's like, oh, I like it's real.
So so this is our power of influence. The power of influence. There's people who can say the exact same thing that I said, and it's just like, hi, can we talk? Can we talk about our issues? We could have did this over the phone. When we come in that energy, that's confusion, because you want to be in the room, but you don't know how to be in the room. So you got to wait. First of all, you're forcing a conversation that needs to happen, but you have to wait for God to tell you when to let it happen. Mm-hmm. I had 3 days to solve a problem. So I had to move quick. I don't know with the Lightning McQueen issue, but if we know that there's a problem that we need, clearly you have time, because it's been 6 months. and it could be another 6 months. Clearly, you have time to solve this issue, whatever this issue is. We put the urgency on it. But just because we know there's a problem that needs to be solved does not mean we need to now put ourselves into solving the problem, if that makes sense. If I would have went to any of those individuals in that house, that's why those women walked behind me ready to jump me. Because they're like, oh, what's happening? Like they knew if it jumps off.
When you described it, it gave me Ursula and her eels.
Yeah, henchmen.
Like, yeah, it's very like.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, the henchman, right? She's gonna need to be protected, so it's good that she got soldiers next to her. You know, but poor unfortunate soul.
Right.
I don't know why I can't move forward. What are we talking about?
Like the queen not throwing herself into a situation.
So I had 3 days to resolve an issue. So God knew this was a problem that needs to be solved. Now, I wasn't interested in solving the problem. You know, you told me I'm bipolar because 1 minute I'm like, and the next minute I was like, and God said.
I'm like, dang. What did God say about the previous behavior display?
Right? It's just like, look, that's my humanity. But at least I occupy my humanity, right? I didn't flee my humanity and leave it open to demons. I occupy my humanity.
That's what they do as strippers. Well, not strippers, but like once they get into one bad area, they allow other parts to be stripped away. Or like that's kind of like my fear of having a boyfriend at a young age. As far as okay, I allow this one thing, but since I don't know myself enough, I might allow this other person to pick at the person I am. So I'm not solid on who I am.
Your barometer of toleration, because y'all can't see this, but I'm gonna spell however I spell it. Toleration. Who gonna check me, boo? So your barometer of toleration is set where?
I'd honestly say 8 to
14
12.
for me. Women mature 14. I never finished this.
Yeah, women physically mature.
Yeah, mature physically. Alright, women 14, men 23.
Right?
Alright, what were we saying about toleration? So when did your toleration, your bar for how it's okay for a man to be, how it's okay for a boy to treat you in order for him to, because first we need to,
I don't feel like I've been stunted since I was sexually assaulted. I feel like in that arena, as far as.
So 4?
It was that long ago? I was 4?
Mrs. entered the chat at 5 because you were at church.
What happened before then? Because I knew at we would kiss each other sometimes.
You would kiss who?
Kids on the playground.
Oh.
Like it. Not.
I was like, not more. My God.
No, I'm saying like in kindergarten we would kiss
Give
each
me an
other.
F. I failed as a mother.
You're funny.
I'm listening.
No, I'm just thinking the influence of like kissing at that age. Like, why were we kissing? Who introduced that?
Everywhere. Kissing's natural.
Yeah, but at
If
5,
we
was it?
but if we made kissing natural, it wouldn't be so sinister, and it wouldn't be like, I don't kiss. You know, like that's too much affection. Like, not saying we need to go around kissing each other, but if something's so natural as kissing, it should be on the same level as a hug.
Yeah,
It should, because
I think so.
if we make it behind closed doors, only adults kiss. Now our kids who are trying to be like adults, who are trying to play adults, are going to be kissing. But kissing is just natural, I think. But we don't have to go down that.
So you said 4, 5. So I'm just thinking about that. Like,
Because she watched you because I had to go to school.
and then it turned into because mom had to watch me. What was Miss doing for that to
Like, where were you? And some people would blame her for not being available.
And
Like,
it's not about that.
it's not, but I'm just saying, some people will blame somebody. You weren't there for me, so this happened.
Right.
That don't even make no damn sense. Just think about that one. Forgive. It's more for you than them. I'm sure if they knew your child was going to be sexually assaulted, they would have made themselves available.
Right? If you knew,
Right?
No, actually, yeah, 4 or 5. Because think about how often were you leaving me there? Because I do remember.
It was 2010.
So I was 5.
No, 2010 was beauty school. So it was before 2010, so it was 4.
So 4.
3, you weren't 3, you were 4. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, but thinking about relationship-wise and...
So, sexual trauma.
Can we fit it in here?
Toleration, right? Okay, so toleration, or we can say sexual trauma.
So I would say in between the years of 5 and 12.
5 and 12.
I'm stunted.
And shaped what you'll accept from a man or as love.
And as far as, yes, accepted, because, I mean, this entire situation that I've gone through the past, I guess, almost a year from then, I've changed my perspectives.
So you were able to acknowledge that, yes, you experienced sexual trauma. Well, we're here now, acknowledging that you experienced sexual trauma. So whatever trauma that is related to that, you're releasing in this moment.
Right.
We're no longer sitting in that energy.
Exactly.
Okay, so now that we know that we just zoop.
So think about it, like, that's something that I've internally thought about, like, as far as I don't go around disclosing this information to people. Well, this is why I treat my friendships like this, because, well, in the past...
My first friends were were a relationship.
Yeah, well, actually...
My best friend was a relationship. Whoa, I didn't even think about that.
Stop looking at me like that.
No, because I'm like that. I bet not never see her if I saw her on the street. Like, what was she exposed to do that? Maybe I'll meet her with compassion, but I'm still like, call me bipolar if you want to.
It's not. It's more of the deception behind it, as far as you not necessarily owning up to your character and you
just smile in my face.
Yeah, that's not right. If I were to do something to someone like that, I would not be in their face like that. That's rude. Well, not rude, but like it's.
And she never. Cold. I'm playing the whole scenario out. She never had predatory energy. Her mom did.
So that might be why. It's okay.
I felt the energy, and I automatically thought it was the adult.
Not the child.
But when I had the child independently, I never picked up on predatory energy. I never picked up on predatory behavior on you.
Exactly.
But now I'm thinking about the times I have been in the space of predators. Have I actually picked up on energy? I have picked up on what I believe to be predatory energy. So there's levels to predatory behavior and energy. We know how to pick up on the energy, but we don't know how to pick up on the behaviors.
Right.
And that's because we leave children alone. That roots back to children being left unattended, they're kissing, like the stuff that me and my cousins used to do is wild. You know, if we could make a baby, we probably would. You know, we never knew the penetration part. We knew all the other pieces except for the penetration part. That's why porn is so
bad for the child.
Detrimental, because now they know the penetration part. I did the interview with NA, and she was saying she didn't know what was happening when she was 12 years old being penetrated by a 19-year-old. She didn't know what was happening, because we know the outside, we know the kissing. Oh, kissing is bad. No, being penetrated is bad. And half of these children who are out here being essayed don't even know what's happening to them, and that's why they either pick up on the predatory energy, or they actually don't even know they're being victimized until they're told they're being victimized. And now they're in the confliction of, I didn't feel like a victim. Like, you were besties with your abuser, and you said that you never looked at her as your abuser.
Yeah.
So it's energy, and we need to be looking at behaviors. And it's crazy if we actually sit and think about, I knew, and I remember calling me and telling me that she walked in the room and had your pants down, but never said it was because she was going to give you a spanking on your bare butt. And it was in that moment, Spirit told me to get my kid out of there.
Bare butt.
Yeah, it was.
And how old is she? She's like 14 at this time.
Yeah, and so it was in that moment that Spirit said to get you out of there, but I didn't have no choices, and this is why our children, this is why we need daycare centers that are low income but give quality of service. We want to talk about our foundation. Daycare centers that are quality of service, like we're talking type, private.
Shoot, we need nuns. We need nuns in there.
Private education, but it's low income. Like, what can you afford to pay? We just need to make sure that your baby is safe while you go do what you need to do. Like, if I had choices, well, first I talked myself down because my mom raised me to be paranoid. And on top of that, I have a true crime addiction. And so there's a lot of times that I'm just like, nope. And you're like, Mom, you're overreacting. I'm like, I know, because my mind is poisoned. So that is one demon I had to release. Mm-hmm. But because of that demon, it left me susceptible to when God did speak to me. It wasn't the demon this time, it was God.
We did this last night where I was like, if the devil's telling me or if God's telling me.
Yeah, so that's why you got to keep exercising those demons, because the devil can't tell you nothing when you're full of God. That's why they say, Lord, less of me. I'm telling you, listen to your little gospel music, because this is Kirk Franklin right now. Less of me and more of you, God. Let there be less of me and more of you, God. Like, that's the gospel music. Yes, fill me up. I want to be all God. Like, get rid of this. Get these demons up out of here. And we don't even know they're there until we shine in our light. Like, and some of them up like, right. And then you got to deal with it.
I saw you.
Yeah, you can't shine a light on a demon and just like, I was never here.
Right, dapped you up.
Yeah, you can't be besties with your demons. You got to deal with that, and that's what shadow work is. You got to do the uncomfortable stuff.
That's maybe what's created the indecision of my life, as far as being besties with my demons.
We've all been besties with our demons. That's why it's so difficult for so many people to admit that they have self-hate. You don't hate yourself. You hate the demons you've allowed to control you, live in your body with you. Hate the flesh. The flesh is this big sin ball that we're stuck in.
Well, why don't you change it into? Well, that's like
they don't know.
You said earlier that we're not indoctrinated. I'm like, well, I've never been an avid soda drinker, or I've never, like, the things that I indulge in are because I've wanted to indulge in them, and not because social media has told me, or the music I'm listening, like pop music on the radio, told me to have this thought, or commercials are saying this tastes good, eat this, or like even with fast food, I'm a creature of habit. Like literally, my favorite place is Chipotle. I always ask to go to Chipotle, as far as historically you've seen, or like if I don't like something, I'm not gonna eat it again. Mm-hmm. Or I have not necessarily standard of self, but I know how I operate. Mm-hmm. I'm working on my standard of self, as far as learning that it needs to, it's needed to survive. Because I want to actually be peaceful. Like, I'm peaceful now, but I want to be peaceful in places that I haven't been at peace before. Like being in high school, being at work. Like, I just kind of shut my brain off as far as like the weed smoking and stuff. Like, I'll smoke before work or something, and that was like what I would do.
So maybe you just smoke out of habit.
Yeah, I definitely do. As far as I have gone times where like before I started like buying it on my own, and I told you guys about it, I would go times without it and it was fine because I couldn't have it. But now I've had means to get it, and it's just like, well, this is what makes me happy right now. This is what I want. It's a short.
Why does it make you happy?
It's relaxing. It's been relaxing. It's been,
It's relaxing.
like I said, escapism as far as,
Escapism.
you know, if the household's yelling and they're high and they're like acting a fool and being high energy, I'm able to sit in the same room and just, you know.
Toleration.
Right?
Alright.
Or even get involved, because sometimes it does help me feel less controlling.
So freedom.
Yeah, today's my last one though. My last day.
Alright, so you're smoking. It's not about stopping smoking to stop smoking. It's stop smoking, and here's the reasons why I do smoke. I smoke for relaxation. So I know when I get the urge to smoke, I'm either seeking relaxation, escapism, toleration, or freedom, and anything else you can add to the list later. So it's not that you need to tell yourself, I need to stop smoking for whatever reason. Like, I need to stop smoking because I'm being controlled. It literally is a controlled substance. Controlled. And do you want to go through life controlled? No. So now this is one reason why we should stop smoking. We should also stop smoking because of your lungs and your health.
Right? I want to have 15 children. I need to be able to.
You gotta be able to push them babies out.
Right?
Push them babies out. Alright, so here's another reason why you should not smoke. Another reason why you can go infinitely of why you should not smoke. Finances.
I want to travel the world.
You want
I
to
can't
travel
go
the world.
no weed.
There's opportunities that you can't experience because you have that in your system, which is a part of the plan. Like, we may not get you with these felonies, we may not get you with this lack of education, we're gonna get you with this weed, and we're gonna make it so that you can't get a job if it's in your system. They're gonna get us every way they can, right? So, it's the man. The man. Do you want to get into the man's plan over your life? So, finances. Finances is everywhere, right? Finances. So we gotta figure out money for everybody. Anyway, so these are all reasons why you shouldn't smoke. These are all reasons why you do smoke. And is there another way you can figure out how to relax yourself? Escapism is bad. What are you trying to escape? This is shadow work for you to do. This is releasing demons. That's why it's called shadow work, because you are going into the pits of hell within yourself and exercising demons. And the more powerful you are, the more work you do instead of living with them motherfuckers. I ain't living with them. Get up out of here. You ain't welcome up in here. Shake it out. Shake it out. So you do your shadow
Shake
work.
them demons off, kids. Is that what you're gonna start telling them?
Shake the demons off, kids.
So it's gonna be cool how to see them talking about the positives in their day is gonna change over the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's all it takes is just repetition.
Yeah. And they'll want to start talking about positives. Everything lasts.
Control children's minds.
Yeah, everything lasts as long as it needs to. Like when I was like, Drake, can I talk to you, every day for an hour? We only had to have 2 conversations before he realized how to talk to me. And so now, and I realized how to talk to him, right? It's a 2-way street. Because I also learned how to communicate better I learned how to talk to him during just 2 sessions. And so now I'm able to take that into life, and we no longer have to have specific times to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So now, intrusive thought. So now, I can go to the kids and say, every day after school, I want you to tell me about the positive and something you would need my help to work on and sort out. Because I do want to hear your problems, but I want to hear them, or your issues. I just want to hear them in a constructive way. So that is training them to start seeing the positive. If I have a whole day of nothing and I got to find one something, so now you're training them to look for the positive, no matter how minute it is. And that's the positive that will propel you forward in life versus all the negative you can focus on. It's going to keep you stuck. So it's training them, and then we'll keep this up as long as it's necessary, and then we'll move on to the lesson. So it's almost like things pop up because they're little classrooms, it would be their version of Taco Bell, right? So these little ideas that we have that only last a week or two, a day or two, it's because we only needed 2 days before whatever it was that we were pulling from it got pulled.
Right.
So yeah. So escapism and shadow work, toleration, this is just more control within the home and whatever else you're doing to tolerate. But you gave the example of the kids being loud and you being able to, be around them. We need to find.
Well, what's changed? So much has changed now as far as triggers. It's more of just like the days I do when you're like, oh, your energy's off. Those are literally days I don't smoke. And I'm in my room. But I try not to be like, well, I haven't smoked today because it's just like, that's a stupid reason. But usually,
Well, it's the same thing with Dre. Dre's off right now.
like I spend a lot of time alone when I'm in those. And it's just like, I need my alone time to be beneficial time and not me sitting in my bed.
So now a byproduct so now if we're looking about if all controlled substances have side effects, I can now look at Dre who is going off, and now you let me know when I say your energy is off, those are the times you're not smoking. Now we can look at shared manifestations, and both of you want to be alone. So now we think about all the people in our community who smoke. It's almost like, this is why they made it non-toxic. They need us all to embrace it because we want to be alone, and our power is in community. Our power isn't in, yeah, that's funny. Our power isn't in isolation, but we literally are, as a mass, are addicted to a substance that when we're not having it, we want to be alone. So now we know that you're going to have to allow yourself to go through withdrawals long enough. Like the symptoms are different, right?
Definitely.
A withdrawal symptom is isolation, so you have to know that you have to go through that and to not give it any type of energy because you know what it is. And we know what it is because we're looking at Dre and his withdrawal symptoms, which he literally posted on his page, I just want to be alone. He's isolating, and he can look at it as it's because of what's going on in my life.
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that, because when you said I just want to be alone, we were just like, well, why doesn't he want to be with his family? Then I didn't think about it from my perspective, like when I'm going through things, because like, I truly do, like I will stay in my room, hopefully I have water, like really just.
But you want to be
nothing.
alone.
Like literally nothing, as far as like, I don't want to be stimulated, I don't want to think about anything else, because most of those times it's like, well, I don't get paid for another 4 days, so that's the only reason why I don't have weed. Like it's not because, so I'm just like, let's chill out, because I do know, not necessarily get irritable, but I do know there's times where it's just like when you say your energy's off, and it's like, well dude, I was in my room all day and then you called me out, or I was in my room all day and something happened, and it's like, well, dang, oops.
But now I know, and so when you're like, no, it's not, and I'm just like, sis, okay, you wouldn't treat me the way that you're treating me if there wasn't something going on. But now I know why, present day, your energy is off. Usually you tell me any other time your energy is off, but there's certain times you don't tell me why your energy's off, and I'm like, well, something's going on, whether you feel comfortable speaking to me or not.
Yeah, I don't want to say I have a drug dependency. Sorry, Mom, I haven't.
I'm an addict.
Right?
I'm going through withdrawals.
Right, I'd rather not tell my mom that.
Yes, please tell your mom so she can help you. Please tell your mother so she can help you. Mother, please help.
Mother, Gaia?
So we need to work on communication.
Ooh.
So that you can be in your life, right? Because at present, your home is your life. And your home is always going to be your life. So you gotta be able to be in it and not tolerate it. Like, look, in the totality of life, there's gonna be some toleration. But we don't want that to be the majority of your lived experience, otherwise you're wasting your time. And then freedom. This right here, I'm glad I brought my jacket.
Right? You know, I thought about wearing a hoodie, but it's just like, I would live in the desert. Now I'm gonna ask, why are you wearing a hoodie?
So now we're like, okay, so at what age do you realize wearing a hoodie in the summer is stupid? 19.
19 years old.
So everybody that wants to know when my kid's gonna stop wearing a hoodie in the summer, 19.
Yeah, sorry guys. Today was the day. I thought, you know what? It's not worth it.
Well, it is good as far as like collecting sweat, but why do I want to smell like sweat all day?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those. I'm a clean woman.
I try to be.
I pride myself in that.
I'm thinking about my toleration barometer. When did I remember kissing the boy in the treehouse. I remember kissing the boy on the washing machine. He could have got it if he wanted it, so I was 14. 14 was really a bad year for me as far as a lot of my behaviors locked in at 14.
It was a traumatic year for me as well. I lost my virginity.
Mm-hmm.
Derek had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
The world
Literally ended.
Yeah, locked down. I mean, it was just very big as far as how my life changed after Derek passed. So I don't even feel like it was quarantine that changed my life perspective. I feel like it was him passing it did.
Mm-hmm.
And then quarantine just happened to be a long, brief period of not seeing anybody.
Quarantine did a lot to people.
I forget it happens sometimes.
So when we went through it, we really didn't use it. We just went through it.
I would say.
So we lost a lot. But some people went through it with nothing. Some people went through it positively, and some people went through it negatively. And I can say I went through it, I didn't get nothing from it. Well, I
don't know,
did.
I feel like I went through it negatively. Well, I would say positively as far as me knowing that I don't need to be everybody's friend.
Mm-hmm.
But negatively, one, I gained weight, and I feel like that's been something that's kind of been on my mind. I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I have to look at every day. I can't avoid that. I'm not avoiding that. I know it's not right for me to avoid that.
Yeah.
So that, and then, like I said, how I handle relationships. I mean, it's changed, but think about the relationships I was in. Not relationships, but like hanging out with all those dynamics. Were those really the best for me, or what? As far as coming out in quarantine, did I use that time to go up or go down?
There's no good, there's no bad, there's just God. Okay? So let that be a mantra. There's no good, there's no bad, there's just God.
Alright.
And so
We talk about there's no good, there's no bad, it's just God. There's no good, there's no bad, it's God.
so remember, Alpha, Omega. We have a beginning, we have an end. Begin with the end in mind. Ooh, that's powerful. If we know we all gotta die, you need to live like you're gonna die. Get the most out of your life. Begin with the end in mind. If I knew tomorrow wasn't promised, surprise I do. But if I truly internalize that tomorrow wasn't promised, do you think that I would take a moment in your presence for granted? I wouldn't. I would honor you as much as comfortable for me. And I'm going to push my comfort level and allow myself to get discomfort, because it's in that discomfort authenticity arises. How far are you willing to go for yourself? How far are you willing to go for yourself? And that's the difference between going through life and getting nothing from it, getting everything from it, and pretty much losing your life, wasting your life. And so quarantine, because within life, within the totality of life, I like that word, totality. Within the totality of life, there's multiple life cycles.
Right.
Okay, so we're looking at quarantine as a life cycle. So the beginning of quarantine and the end of quarantine, what were your experiences? Did you just go through it? Did you pull from it? Because, you know, one
I
of the
pulled from it. I was definitely, I don't know.
it doesn't have to be all of it.
Around knuckleheads, and I knew knuckleheads weren't like
It was 2 years, right?
quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was 2 years of your life. So at any time you could like, so you don't have to, so we can look at quarantine from an all-inclusive, the beginning to the end, the full 2 years. What is the majority of what you can say? Did you do it positively, negatively? Nothing, you just went through it.
I do think I got better, because I'm thinking beginning quarantine, we lived at Agave.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-quarantine, we moved.
Mm-hmm.
After that, like you said, I usually go outside and go on walks and stuff.
You became extremely independent
Yeah.
in that time, so you definitely
I got
grew.
my first job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've always had a job, so it's not like, oh my god, I got money now.
Yeah.
I've had money, but as far as becoming my own person,
Mm-hmm.
time management, online school, because I'm thinking like how I navigate the situation
Mm-hmm.
of me being her friend. I knew that she was fun, but I knew not to follow her choices.
Mm.
So being in the space with others and knowing that they can't.
So you didn't stop going to school, even though she didn't go to school. You still got up and went to school.
So that's an example of it. But as far as like me allowing myself to be in presence of other people, and even like me to emotionally get worked up over it, because I was like, dang, it's not fair that she didn't get to go to school and I still have to do all this, and I'm still going to work, and I didn't see her at work today, and it sucks that we still have the same job, but like I thought she valued it, and all this stuff. It was like that didn't really serve me.
Was that bumping up against you though? You're like, this is the person that I align with, and this is how they move versus how I move. Like, why were you concerned about her?
I was more concerned because I would like the people I associate with to do the same thing with me, as far as you go to your job, you get your money, and you take care of what you need to get taken care of at home. So it's not I'm the distraction, or things that I bring to your life are ruining your life. As far as she got that job to help her family out, and as far as like I know that it didn't feel good to give your money to your family, but.
So, at what point in that relationship were you going to determine that your dissatisfaction and questioning her behaviors was actually your spirit saying that you have aligned with someone that does not align with you? Right?
I feel like definitely when I saw in the video, as far as it was a visual representation, that she's easily like straight in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was someone who I worked with for months before.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't dabbling with her at all. Like I worked, hey girl, your makeup looks good today, cashier talk, whatever. Because we're near the same age. But she's a dropout.
Mm-hmm.
So I know she has nothing to do with me.
You've had a lot of dropout friends.
Yeah, I have. And that's
I dropped out too.
like
I went back.
That up too. He was like that hillbilly girl. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I don't know how the hillbilly got in.
Right. He was trying to talk down. I'm like, don't even worry about it.
She grew you somehow.
She was also a cashier, as far as me finding familiar.
But she taught you who not to date.
Yeah, definitely.
She taught you, like, all lessons don't have to be rainbows and butterflies, but if you, like, taught me a lot, but
She looked after me though.
she's blessed me too. I went from not saying her name to showing her respect. So, she taught you a lot of defense, because you don't want her life.
Definitely.
She taught you a lot of defense, because you don't want her life. And you knew her season with you was over, because God's gonna, and these are the times it's just so you're strengthened and you're ready. These are the times that you've been put in the devil's lair. This is when you've been put in the lion's den. But you came out unscathed. You would probably be in a room with people who are doing all kinds of stuff that you don't do, and you would really just be sitting there like, You don't have the personality type, and you can tell me I don't know, but you probably don't have the personality type where everybody's doing something, you're like, so me too. You know, you're the type that's just, you be in a room and everybody.
Like I said yesterday, I have quiet judgment, so you'll feel.
But your judgment isn't even to the point where I'm not going there no more. You will subject yourself to that again and again, and I don't know about present day. I'm talking about you still went and rode in those cars with those people, even though you knew it was fruitless, just because you wanted socialization. So you will, at some point, so we're looking at your toleration. We were talking about sexual trauma, but we're talking about toleration, period. So your toleration to be around fuckery, where did that come from? You're home.
14, I feel like.
You're 14.
I don't think it was my home. I think it's because I wanted, we'll say 12, because I got in trouble before 14.
So now we're looking at you being in spaces that go against your character, go against your ethics, go against who you are, what you stand for, but not so much that you're just like, no. But it's enough where you're just like, this ain't it, but I'm getting this from this environment, so I'm going to tolerate it. I don't have to be a part of it, but I'm gonna be here because I'm getting this little bit.
Right.
So
I don't think that really played out well in the past for me. Because like I said, I feel like 12, 13, when I started, like when I tried a vape, when I...
so this is gonna be your trying to fit in phase.
When T and I stole Dre's Crown bottle, like stuff like that.
When was that?
Like 12, 13.
12, 13.
Like, remember
So
when I got my phone search and had to switch from KMS to Centennial? This is when it all happened. I feel like that's around the age where I was trying to tolerate and fit in, create.
So fit in age. I totally forgot what we were defining. I was like, tolerate, what is it?
This is for me to leave, move out, and this is why you would. And then this turned into
toleration, and why you should stop smoking.
and this is
And this age chart has just been timeless.
it fits everything.
This is why you allow yourself to jump from topic to topic, because everything's related if you allow it to be. Everything's interconnected, interpersonal. Nothing is isolated, including you, so if you choose to isolate, that's the wrong choice. That's a demon. You move how you move, but our power is in our collective energy, so if you are choosing, if something inside of you is choosing to isolate, but you're a part of, you believe in God, the body of Christ popped in my head, but you're a part of God, divinity, universe, the collective, but you want to isolate, those are counter, it's a demon. So they contradict. You can't be a part of the collective and isolate it.
Right.
Now, of the totality, yes, you have to go into isolation. That's what quarantine was, a global isolation period.
Which is why some people died and some people did.
Yeah.
Literally, figuratively.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, I haven't been the same since, or I couldn't, like, what do you mean you couldn't survive by yourself?
Yeah. Why can't you survive by yourself? That's big. Like, I would get bored. Present day, I think that I could survive by myself, but I would still get bored. I would need to talk to somebody.
Well, that's where all these connections I have, like the situation where it's like those times where we couldn't see each other, that's where it flourished. Because you were able to be absent and
Present at the same
Yeah.
time.
since we're all absent.
I wanted to fit in when I moved to Colorado because it was my first time moving into an all-black environment, and I was an outcast. I've never been an outcast at this point. At that point, up until that point, I just was there, right? No one noticed me, and I didn't know that you could be noticed.
As far as physically noticed?
Yeah, like,
Did you ever know about energy growing up?
huh?
Did you ever know about energy growing up?
No, I I didn't learn about energy until my adult. And again, I don't want to discount my prior knowledge, because my prior knowledge was relevant and necessary in order for me to be here. But what I know about energy now, I'm just now learning about energy. I believe that my point of saying I'm just now coming into relationship with God, I'm just now becoming a good mother, that's not saying that I haven't done it, because I had to do it to be here. But what it is saying is, I know what I'm doing now.
Right.
I was fumbling forward.
Woo!
If you try, a trying person is a good person. So
Woo!
because I was trying, I was moving forward. You need to abandon that needs to be one of the dreams we just toss.
What?
Being a dancer. Because I was terrible. I can't imagine what I looked like when I was dancing, but if that's anything to say, yes, that's probably what I looked like when I was giving lap dances. Lord Jesus.
No, I need some more mobility.
But,
Man.
you're funny. But, yeah, when I moved into Park Hill,
What time are you supposed to be done?
4 o'clock.
Okay, 31 minutes. We did a good job. What do you need to talk about, Lonnie? Do you want to conclude this? Or do you
Yeah, I
have
want to
something you
conclude
wanna-
this. We'll conclude this. So, when I moved to Park Hill, I was funny, 8 years old. I went into the 3rd grade, but I failed the 1st grade, so I was a year older than the age you're supposed to be. So I was 8 years old, so my fit-in age was 8. Yours was 14 again?
We'll say 12.
12.
I finalized at 12 because literally I got a whole group of friends to go talk to at school, double life living, as far as the identity that I express at school is not the one I express at home.
So your fit-in was due to acceptance, and my fit-in was due to rejection.
Yeah.
Because I wanted them to allow me into their circles, and you were allowed, I'm looking at the word allowed on the wall, and you were allowed into those circles, and so both of us had to fit in,
Yeah.
our attempt.
Well, I feel like it was more like keeping this place as far as like, I wasn't bullied, Mom. I really wasn't.
You was, or you weren't?
I wasn't bullied. So I don't remember being bullied. I remember like girls being weird, but like I never went home and was like, oh my god, those kids at school. Oh my god. Or like I need to fight. Like the only
Yeah,
time I
you
fought-
did, because maybe it was boys, but you did because you were going. That's why you got put in Louis tie. Because I
Oh,
feel you
yeah,
were being
well,
bullied.
so-
I got tired of you coming home saying people were bothering you, and I was like, stop being a goddamn simp.
Well, basically,
I'm
I got-
afraid to get hit.
I got hit in
Well,
my
here,
stomach. I got
here.
hit. What
Stop being
happened was-
ow, ow.
Right.
Stop being afraid to get hit.
I didn't even do anything. I just tapped on hand. Let's go, honey.
I'm fragile. I'm fragile. All right, fill in your bubble. What percentage are you of 100% why you haven't moved out? We got finances, we got.
I feel like 35 is relationships with others. As far as I don't have a roommate, I don't have anybody to.
No built-in roommate.
Yeah, I
And your
got.
options are, and, right? I'd rather stay home. A lot going on there, a lot of energy.
Yeah, so no relationship.
I just need bed. I can't stand to hear toleration, so this would be toleration. Toleration.
I feel like
Also, with relationship, with having a family relationship, it's beneficial. So I feel like that'll also fall under meet that calendar. Caliber. Sorry.
So we want a 40% relationship?
We could do that. Cause I feel like the longer you are my family.
Well, you get to live with your best friend.
Yeah, and it'll be hard for me, like, not necessarily build you into a life routine, but if I'm leaving your house to create my own, why am I gonna create my schedule? Okay, visit mom on Tuesday, visit mom on Sunday, visit mom, go to Bible study, and it's like, dang, I just.
You're envisioning you having a regular life and you're not. You're going to have a life where you're going to have me on your calendar. and I'm going to have you on my calendar, and we will be FaceTiming because you're on your way to Dubai, and I'm on my way to
Exactly. And that's
Europa.
what I really needed to be, because I want to travel. That's what's going to make me the happiest. If I'm able to, I'm going to be able to. But when I feel really free, when I'm able to just go wherever I want to go.
Mhm.
And be like, well, I'll see you guys, in a couple days, or whenever I do come back, like, or like I have this exotic situation for the kids, I got these traditional, whatever, bring home things.
I think you will learn the discipline that you seek by going into the Peace Corps, because you're working. It's different than traveling, to my understanding.
Definitely.
Traveling is going to see monuments. What do you call those things when you go look at stuff? Tourist attractions. So you're going to see popular sites. You're going to maybe experience the cuisine. You're going to do things that you enjoy. But when you're out there doing work, you're going to be in communities that need your help. And so now you're actually getting to the heart of whatever country you're in. And remember, I told you I want to start having my kids experience things a year at a time. Mm-hmm. And the Peace Corps is what, 6 months to a year?
Yeah.
And so
a year or two.
So you're able to be immersed, so much immersion into a society that you're figuring out who you are based off of a Black American teen experience. Now you're in the Peace Corps, and now you're figuring out your life from a Black American who's in another country's experience. And because you know how to figure out your life here, you can go there and you know what attributes to look at, and now you understand and you can live a completely different culture, because now you can pick up the parts of their culture that you admire.
Exactly.
Like,
My husband.
I like you. Come here, culture.
Right? I like you, you're gonna have 7 of the 15.
Yeah, go get you an African. He'll give you all them babies.
That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, the headspace that you're in now, you can truly go into, and I was kind of there when I went to Jamaica. Jamaica was very pivotal for me. But you'll be able to go into those spaces. They had 2 chairs there and 2 chairs there. But you're able to go into those spaces and you can actually start solving their problems.
You sit over here?
Yeah, well, just 2 on the wall and 2 on the wall. That works. You're able to solve their problems, right? You're able to solve Black American problems because you have Black American experience. Now you go into Budapest, and now you got Budapest experience, and now you're solving those issues as well.
Right, Sierra.
All right, so here we go. Finances, what's the percentage? I just need a bed and toleration. Fuck it, I'm out.
Finances is like 30%.
You think so? I don't think you care about finances, because if you really wanted to get out. Okay, what perspective are we doing this? Because is this why you're staying or why you're leaving? Because if you really wanted to get out.
Where I'm staying.
Okay, so finances is an excuse.
Okay.
Because you've had 2 jobs. You've gone to school full time and worked
Right.
immediately.
That's
You
why I
started
feel
your
like-
day at 5 a.m. and ended your day at 10 p.m. Let's not act like finances are the reason why you're staying home.
And that's the thing.
So
is
we're gonna
that's
give you a
why
little swivel.
It's weird how, like,
5%.
I go to these jobs and they think that I'm so young. It's just like, we're formed to live a life of nonstop go of your work. Why can't I get the hours I need?
Do you understand, if your mind is occupied 100%, you can never work on you until you learn how to use your life to work on you? That's why you go to Taco Bell and you work on you. That's 4 hours or 8 hours of your life that you could spend working on you or mindlessly making freaking tacos. I'd rather work on me. You just gotta figure out what you work on. I wouldn't keep coming to that. Adore, at this point, like, Angel doesn't understand. She thinks I'm pushing agendas, but honestly, God is creating these conversations to where they keep looping back to whatever that particular agenda item is.
I'm like, dang, leave Taco Bell alone. I don't care about Taco Bell.
I want to leave it alone, but every time I say something, like, boom, Taco Bell, boom, Taco Bell.
Oh, at first it started off as an embarrassment, but then, like, I told her, she's like, oh, like, girl, it's a job. I'm like, I know it's a means to an end, but it's just like, people stop asking me where I work, please.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave me alone about it.
A fast food establishment. Would you feel better if you said Chick-fil-A?
No. Not really.
All right, how much is I just need a bed and toleration? Why are you staying home? Relationships is 40, finances is 5. I just need a bed.
I feel like that just takes all of it. Toleration is very.
So fucking I'm out ain't even on your radar. You're not so miserable that you're like, I gotta go.
No, it's more of, I really feel like finances is it, because I need a car, I need food, and I need shelter. And I've never done any of those things for myself consistently.
All I can say is God opens doors and God closes doors. So you are putting out the resumes, you are applying for the job. So it's not that you're not putting that physical world. Remember yesterday I said, I work so hard, I would give 110% and I'm not getting any results. Effort, for the sake of effort, is just simply effort. You need to change your energetic vibration because something within you, this is a finance thing, something within you is stopping you from getting the job. So now it's either your spirit is saying you're not supposed to be working a second job, now you're supposed to be working on you. Or something in you is like not in alignment. Because once you become in alignment, you get what you want, right?
Right.
So if you're not getting what you want, it's not that they're not hiring you, it's that you're not in alignment vibrationally. So physical world, you are putting the resumes out, but there's something vibrationally within you that's not aligning for you to get these jobs.
That's why I told him, I was like, well, a week after you left, I got the job. And he was like, I know. I'm like, don't say that. But that's how it worked out. We're like, when things opened up,
Yeah.
when things weren't stagnant.
Yeah, so there's something that is impeding finances. And you have to determine, is it for you, against you, or nothing at all? So we have to figure that out. All right, so how much is I just need a bed? The rest is I just need a bed. So 45, 50, 55% is I just need a bed.
I just need somewhere to lay my head where it's safe.
Well, let me just say that I am happy that 40% of that is relationships, because I was like, dang, you only in our house because you need a bed? That's a problem.
No, like I do enjoy being at home. I truly do like enjoying being an older sibling, but I feel like a lot of it's turning into because I'm comfortable, and it's not because you guys are actually serving great purpose for me.
Yeah.
Like it's getting to that point where like how I said, oh, I'm here to see his first day. I better be gone next time.
Yeah.
Like there's gotta be some other experience besides. I've been an older sister since 12, 7. How like this has been my story for how long?
And I believe that you could purposefully be an older sibling out of the home.
As far as
You don't have to live in the same house as your younger siblings in order to be impactful in their life. You just have to become more intentional.
Well, that's the thing is like either I find a roommate or I just live by myself.
Yeah.
I really don't want to do the roommate situation though.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to be contingent on if we're besties or not, for one. Two, I don't want to have to hang out with you all the time for us to feel like things are in flow. Like how you said, J and stuff. As far as, you know, when she's falling out of flow, but I don't want to have those issues with where I lay my head. And not saying it's going to be an issue, because I'm moving out of the whole allowing Bree to emotionally control me.
But if they don't know, you gotta deal with their space. Like, just because you're not stuck doesn't mean you're not living with someone who's stuck.
Exactly.
And that's terrible.
Exactly. And if I'm paying for this or I'm going out my way to escape something.
Yeah, this is my peace, but it's not very peaceful.
Yeah. So I'm open that door, open that can.
The worms of cans.
But other than that, I just don't know how to do it. I was like, just pulling on different parts. Just collapse, please.
Go down.
Go.
It says up is unlocked and down is so it's unlocked.
lift your leg adjacent to your hip.
The Spirit told me that this was God's, and this is why I'm going into the classroom, God's teaching me how to stand for hours. And I need to take care of my body because
Whatever you do right, do left.
I'm gonna have to.
That's what was the thing. Yeah. I kind of remember that all the time.
Amen.
I'm like, dang, I stretch the other side, I gotta do the other side.
Yeah, I saw something that said you're not old, you need to stretch. I'm gonna print it out and put it on my wall so I can stretch every day.
Yeah, like even you just touching your toes.
Maybe we never locked it.
I didn't.
Let's go see what this one looks like.
Oh yes, oh yes, so yes, so yes, oh yes.
Hands on your knees, hands on your knees. So that's the lock.
Yeah. The gun, we both reach for the gun.
Oh yes, so
Yep, that's how it goes.
They both reach for the gun.
Head wrap. My hair is up in the middle.
Is it?
I think either.
Let's go watch Chicago.
I want to, we should.
We got snacks. Spirit, send us snacks.
We can, I'll ask Dre. I'm like, can we have $15? How much do you think we need for snacks for everybody? A snack for everybody.
Snack for everybody.
That's the issue, it's just like, you have to include everyone, or like, the financial, burden you're trying to release is now an emotional burden. You have people feel left out, not cared for, not seen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna ask somebody.
The gun, they both reach for the gun. I love that movie.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like to hear the things, some of the things that I exposed you to as a child. They're things that you enjoy. Like we were listening to California Love.
Yeah.
And I turned it off because it was a Roger Trout, it was a more melodic one. I don't like that one, I like the radio edit. And Kaden was like, can you turn that song back on? I was like, oh, you like Tupac? All eyes on me.
It's funny.
Yeah, he loves music.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
You gonna check these books out?
Probably not. I'll
That gun. There is a book I wanna look for.
But the other one looked interesting. I didn't know what the other one was so. I just like books like that. I was like, oh, is it spiritual?
Well, I encourage you to make an effort to read a chapter of a book a day.
Our purpose on earth, soulmates, spiritual setting, we're so go after death. Get anything uncomfortable with. So I guess it is a soul book.
Yeah.
But they don't have anything on it. As far as like, don't do this and
Yeah, I would like for you to make an effort to read a chapter of a book a day.
okay, Mom. Enter the heart of the spirit world.
In that voice, exactly.
Destiny of souls. New case studies of life between lives. Right? That's what we need in my room.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, the gun.
I wish, maybe we had to just flip it over. But I honestly don't even think you need to do that.
No,
It's like one of those, like, you just pull it.
it's real simple.
It really is, because they make these things so it's mechanically.
Yeah, they got people like me disassembling tables. I don't think you gotta flip a whole table.
Right, custodian.
I think it's gonna be like that, sister circle to the glasses, otherwise it did what it's supposed to do, right?
Okay.
It definitely did today.